Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Little French in Big Texas. I am Anne, and in this video I would like to share with you some of the latest restrictions, measures, however you want to call it, of what's happening in Europe. Because it all started with the fifth wave that got the healthcare system pretty stretched and hospitals pretty full, so the countries reacted and then their first thought was let's increase the vaccination rate, which is already pretty high. We are averaging 70-75% roughly throughout Europe. And now with the new Omicron strength, woo, it's getting updates every day pretty much. Every day you've got a change. And each country is handling it differently. So very interesting. And here, let me start with France, of course. Given I keep receiving emails from the senator representing the French abroad. And I think the first one that was really of interest was 2 weeks ago. But let me back off. As a background, so France was one of the first country to implement what they call a pass sanitaire, a sanitary pass, mid-July, which pretty much you would get if you get the 2 shots. And without that pass, you cannot do anything fun, pretty much. So if you don't get the vax, you can still go grocery shopping, you can still go to the pharmacy, and you can still go to work. That you can still do. But anything fun, like going to the restaurants, going to the movies, the theater, or even traveling and taking the train, you can't. So they're starting putting restrictions here. And then 2 weeks ago, with the fifth wave, they reviewed the restrictions, saying, well, that's not enough. That is not enough. So what are we going to do? Well, they redefined the definition of fully vaccinated. So right now, to be fully vaccinated, you only needed, you needed the 2 shots, depending, or maybe just one if it's a Johnson & Johnson. That was it. But they redefined it. And for the people 18 and older, it's going to be with the booster to be fully vaccinated. So if you show your sanitary pass, you're going to have your 2 shots, if it's Pfizer or Moderna, plus the booster. So that's taking into effect in December if you're 60 and above, and in January if you are 18 and above. So redefinition of fully vaccinated. I wonder how many times it's going to be redefined in the future. And that's despite the pretty high vaccination rate and people still flowing in the hospitals, and a lot of vaccinated people flowing in the hospitals. So redefinition. And also another thing interesting is if you wanted to do anything and travel, if you were not vaccinated, you had to get a test, which test was valid for 72 hours. Well, that also was redefined. Now the test, starting December, is only valid for 24 hours. That's it. So if you want to travel, it's better be a quick travel and you get the test right away. Otherwise, the option every time, you got a very detailed message to the French living abroad on how you do if you want to get back home. And really the only option is you get on the plane, and as soon as you get there, you get the shot. Very interesting. But that was before Omicron. Because with the Omicron variant, so the French closed their border to South Africa, restricted the flights, and given the cases started appearing in Europe, you had one in Belgium to start, then you had, I think it was a few in the Netherlands, in the UK, in Germany, Italy. Now we've got one in France as well, in the French island on the Indian Oceans, not too far from South Africa. So they're reopening the flights, pretty much. South Africa, the southern part of the African cone, the flights are going to reopen, I think, early next week with a lot of restrictions. So you have to be French to get on board, or there are conditions, but they're reopening it a bit. But aside from that, what's pretty interesting as well is right now, if you want to travel now, you have to get a test whether you're vaccinated or not. So vaccination status does not matter anymore. If you want to get on a plane to go to France, you have to test before boarding, vaccinated or not. So they're redefining everything now. And it doesn't even make sense, because on one side, you need to have your pass with your 2 shots and the booster to do anything fun in the country. But if you want to travel, it doesn't matter whether you're vaccinated or not, because you have to test anyway. So it's a lot happening in here. And that is France. The other countries have different measures. The one that I thought was the most, I would say, interesting maybe, was Greece. They decided that everybody had to get vaccinated, and they implemented a fine for the people over 60. So if you're not vaccinated and you are over 60, you have to pay, actually it's not pay, it's going to be included in your taxes, 100 euros per month. And when you think about in Greece, a Greek retiree probably doesn't get that much money from the local social security. So 100 euro per month, is it not small? It's a huge fine for a retiree. So that was interesting. It was a first of a kind through taxes. I had not seen that before. Austria continues in the lockdown. They actually increased it by 1 week, and still the full mandate in January for everybody. We're going the same way in Italy with a mandate to do anything and even to work and get your paycheck, whether you are a public or private employee. So we're going there slowly and surely here on full mandates in Europe. Germany is looking into, they were looking into the passport that they had not implemented yet, the pass. And what I last read today is they are heading to a mandate as well. Not a pass, a full mandate here for everybody. And as per the most recent Euronews article, the mandate is still under discussion in the courts, but they agreed for curfew and school closure so far in Germany. And at the same time, the European Commission President is welcoming a debate whether to make the COVID-19 vaccine mandatory in Europe. So it's pretty strict. Even the small country in Portugal, which has like an 86% vaccination rate, is increasing the restrictions. So Portugal, if you want to do as well anything fun, you go to restaurant, you want to stay in a hotel, travel, you need to show your passport. Vaccination pass, the app on the phone, now everything is electronic, but you need to show it to do anything fun. So this is coming. Europe is usually the first step. And all the countries are implementing different measures, but they have one thing in common. It's getting stricter and impossible to do anything without a vaccine, despite the fact that they recognize you need to get tested anyway because it doesn't work. It's interesting. The world we live in is very interesting. So just wanted to share and vent a bit here because it's frustrating. Just happy to be in Texas, I guess. Thank you all for watching.